Anti-Corruption Summit is underway in London. However, the event has already been marred by indiscreet comments made by the host, Prime Minister David Cameron, about some of those due to attend.
We've actually got some leaders of some fantastically corrupt countries coming to Britain. Nigeria and Afghanistan, possibly the two most corrupt countries.
I'm not going to demand any apology from anybody. What I'm demanding is the return of assets. What would I do with apology? I did something tangible.
Even fantastically corrupt Nigeria is asking Britain to clean up its act and introduce beneficial ownership registers in the overseas territories. Will the Prime Minister achieve this tomorrow at the Anti-Corruption Summit?
Well, first of all, I better check the microphones on before speaking. It's probably a good idea.
Earlier, the British PM announced the creation of an international centre aimed at helping authorities punish tax evaders and to return assets. But there's a twist, as RT's Polly Boyko explains.
Let's be clear. If you want a low-tax economy, which I believe is fundamental to growth, you have to collect the taxes that are owed. That is only fair for companies and for people who play by the rules. That is why we need proper transparency about who pays what and who gets what. This government has done more than any previous government to deal with this issue of making sure that our overseas territories and crown dependencies are not tax havens but behave in a responsible way.
I regard tax evasion and indeed aggressive tax avoidance as morally repugnant.
And to stamp out tax avoidance and dodgy dealings, the British government is holding a major international anti-corruption summit in London. The presidents of Colombia, Afghanistan and Nigeria will be in attendance, as well as a bevy of international organisations such as the IMF, UEFA and FIFA, all mingling with civil society groups and anti-corruption experts. But don't talk about the elephant in the room. Britain controls a third of the world's tax havens. Earlier this week, 300 economists signed a letter saying the UK government should be doing much more to tackle global corruption.
London is the corruption capital of the world. And David Cameron is the Prime Minister of the country which has got the corruption capital of the world. There's plenty of money. It's just not in the right place. It's not in the Treasury. It's offshore. But there's plenty of money around. There's no need for austerity at all. It just needs people like Cameron to have the will to do something about it. Quite frankly, I don't think he does, nor does George Osborne. I mean, they keep backtracking on all their, regulating the banks. They keep backtracking on everything they say they're going to do, and then they don't do it. I mean, they are controlled by the rich and the powerful.
Britain's overseas territories all sport pictures of the Queen on their banknotes, and they've all become synonymous with tax-dodging corporations. It's something even Barack Obama has found frustrating.
You've got a building in the Cayman Islands that supposedly houses 12,000 corporations. That's either the biggest building or the biggest tax scam on record.
In 2011, Facebook hid almost £500 million in the Cayman Islands in order to avoid paying taxes. And last year, Google pulled off a tax avoidance manoeuvre extraordinaire by stashing €11.7 billion in a shell company in Bermuda. All perfectly legal, of course.
I think everyone, people in Russia, people in the United States, people in Britain would agree that citizens who work and earn money ought to pay taxes. And if you don't pay taxes, then that means that the government or the public sector has less income. With less income, there are fewer things it can do, the fewer bridges it can build. So tax havens are a tax avoidance. I have to use the word avoidance because they aren't illegal. They should be illegal, and that's what we're saying. This is basically theft from people in general, by a few people, and that should be stopped.
A tall order for a government that's been linked to the Panama Papers. David Cameron's own father was revealed to have set up several offshore funds. Social media users have been pointing out the irony of it all.
Cameron hosting summits on corruption is like putting your dog in charge of a who ate all the dog biscuits inquiry.
Looks like we know now. Cameron's playbook for Corruption Summit will use corrupt third world to divert from our rot.
Perhaps unsurprisingly, few expect any breakthroughs to come from the event. Two major tax havens, Panama and the British Virgin Islands, haven't even been invited to attend. Polly Boyko, RT, London.
The time